Hey everybody, this is Dave Pitcock, president of Levinity, and today I want to give you guys a very special invitation. Guys, I've spent the last 20 years of my life in personal development. When I was 19 years old, I had a gentleman hand me the book Psycho-Cybernetics, and from that day on, listening to good audios, DVDs, cassette tapes, CDs, going to seminars, I've done a lot of things in the last 20 years. And guys, in the last 15 years, I've really applied those things in my business, and specifically in my network marketing businesses. My wife and I got involved in a network marketing program. We're very successful. We moved on to another program. We're very successful. Had the opportunity to be the founders of our own company, Levinity. Very successful. But what I've noticed in the last 15 years is how difficult it is for people to set goals. And let me explain this. It's not that it's difficult for people to set goals and get excited about something. They can do that 3% of the time. What's difficult is the other 97% of their life. It's staying in that zone all the time until you really achieve the things you want. Now, let me give you an example. Many of you guys watching this, obviously you're a part of Levinity because this is a special invitation just for people in Levinity and your families. How many of you, not just yourself, but maybe know people who have gone to seminars, different meetings, different events, maybe been coached by different people, listened to audios, DVDs, and all these things are fantastic. They're all really good. But when you get out of that environment of the event or the seminar, or you get out of that environment of, I was in my car and I listened to a great CD, you feel amazing, but when you leave that environment and get back to your normal environment, you lose all that. So 3 to 5% of your life, you're excited, you feel good, you're setting goals, you know you're going the right direction, but the other 97 to 95% of the time, you're being influenced by everything around you. And there's 3 things basically that influence you your entire life. And they are hang-ups, things that stop you, things that mess up your mind when you're going through your real world. A person cuts you off, your boss gets mad at you, you have a flat tire. There's real things that happen in life that can really hang you up. There's also bad programs, things you've been taught since you were 5 years old that just simply aren't true but hold you back. And there's also goal setting. And guys, one of the challenges with goal setting, and I've been to so many events and listened to so many things in the last 20 years, they teach you how to set goals, but they don't teach you then how to live your life. They don't, yes, I have a goal and I want to do this, but what do I do when these things happen in my life? And guys, this is just stuff that people don't teach. You know, the definition of changing your mind, it's the best definition I've ever heard. It's when you think and act differently with the same circumstances and the same environment. In other words, you're thinking and acting differently, but you're in the same environment and the same circumstances you've always been. And guys, that's what it really means to change your mind. Most people don't work on their minds. If you really think about this, how many people focus on their bodies and exercising? They focus on what kind of car they drive, what kind of clothes they wear, what their status is. You know, there's a lot of things we think about and focus on, but one of the things we really, as a human species, don't really focus on a lot right now, it's what are we putting in our minds? How are we exercising our minds? And guys, I think this is one of the biggest secrets in the world. I don't think anybody is talking about it to the point that people know it's this important. One of my goals in the next 10 years is to hopefully have a curriculum drawn up and wrote up so things like this are started to be taught in schools. You know, can you imagine what it would be like if you were 6 and 8 years old and you already start to learn, you know, how to get over some of the difficult things in your life? You know, what do they tell you today? Oh, deal with it. Oh, stop crying. Dry those eyes up. Oh, it'll get better with time. You know, they teach you all, they tell you all these phrases that do absolutely nothing for you. What would it be like if they actually taught you something that you could use in life? What if they could teach you something so 100% of your life you can feel good? When the hang-ups happen, when you understand, there's bad programs out there. There's things you may have seen on TV. There's a teacher you may have had, a preacher you may have had, your own parents possibly. There's things that have been put in your mind that you believe that simply aren't true, but they hold you back every day. So wouldn't it be neat if you had an exercise that in 5 minutes you could simply overcome these things. And one of the challenges with setting goals, which I was talking about before, is they have you write down the goals that you want, but there's no action behind them. There's no reason why I would stick to it. It's that feeling at Christmas time, right before Christmas, when you know it's coming and you know you have presents and you're so excited, and then once the presents are open, it's over with. And that's how most people live their lives. 3% of the time, they're excited about that feeling the day before Christmas, but the other 97% of the time, they're stuck right here. Guys, it's the biggest challenge I've seen in this industry. It's not, people want to be successful. Of course they do. People want better things in their lives. Of course they do. Who wouldn't? But we don't know how to get them. We go to seminars. Guys, I have talked to people who've gone to seminars and paid $5,000 to go to a seminar. And they'll go to it again and again and again, and they'll still complain about the same things. Because 97% of the time, they're stuck in the same environment, and they will not change that. And it's not that they don't want to. They can't. Because they're hung up, and they have bad programs going on, and they don't know how to get over them. And simply setting goals is not going to do that. Setting goals the right way will get you excited and moving the right direction, but wouldn't it be nice if 100% of the time you were moving towards the things you want instead of only moving towards them 5% of the time? That's why people, sometimes we call them functioneers. They go to event after event after event after event in our industry, but nothing ever changes. My wife talks about it all the time. We have a lake house just a few miles from, actually from the main headquarters of Lavinity in our hometown. And we can leave our hometown and drive 15 minutes, and it's a different environment. When you get to the lake, it's different. It's only 15 to 20 minutes from here, 15 to 20 miles away, but when you're there, it's a different environment. Think about it when you're traveling. You take a vacation, you go on a cruise. I'm from the Midwest. If you travel to either coast, it's a different environment. You feel different. And what happens is, I hear my wife say it all the time, when we get close to home, when we leave the lake or we're getting back from a vacation, I hear her say all the time, oh, I can just feel it. We're getting back to the normal stuff. Boy, wasn't it nice when we were at the lake. And guys, there's a way that you can stay in that environment all the time. Remember, the definition of changing your mind is to think and act differently in the same environment with the same circumstances. We've all had tragedies in our life. We've all had emotional things happen in our life. We've all had hang-ups. We all experience bad programs. We're all the same. It's just people look at them differently. And guys, here's some things that simply are not taught today. I've heard and been taught these things from lots of different people, but I've never heard it come together in one place. And that's what we're doing. Guys, on April 21st, I want to send a special invitation to the people in Lavinity and your families. It's something called Mindweaving. And really what it is, it's a way to put together a good string of thoughts 100% of the time. It's the biggest challenge I've seen in 15 years. Running this company and being in other network marketing companies, looking at the leaders we've had and the successes we've had, the people that were the most excited, that felt good, that were just happy people, were always the most successful people. It really didn't have a lot to do with the plan or the products or any of those things. Those things are very, very important, don't get me wrong. But you know what? We all have those same things to work with. We all have that same environment. So you have one person that's not having success, and you have another person that's making $15,000 a month. What's the difference? The environment and the circumstances are the same. These two people are looking at things differently. One person, maybe 75% of the time, is in the flow, very excited. Goals and dreams are very exciting to them. They know what they're going to get. The other person, they go to an event, they're excited one weekend out of the entire year, and then nothing happens. And then they go to another event, and they're excited one weekend out of the year, and then nothing happens. Guys, these things are a way to put together a good string of thoughts all the time. There's a way to take the hang-ups in your life and the bad programs that have been in your head and make them work to your advantage. And that's really what I want to teach you on April the 21st. Our environment, the things around us, are what causes us to think. And we don't really see with our eyes. And I want you guys to think about this. We don't see with our eyes. We really see with our brain. And we think the way we feel. When I feel good, I think good things about everything I see around me. When I'm thinking bad or feeling bad, I'm seeing the bad in everything around me. And unfortunately, because of hang-ups and bad programs, most people spend over 90% of their lives in that situation. The biggest struggle of human beings right now is our bodies and our minds constantly fight. We sit here and think and think and think and think and think, and we don't do enough things. And guys, that's what I want to do on April 21st. I want to teach you something. I want to teach you something called mind weaving. If you listen to the 8 Steps of Financial Freedom, which is our basic training in Livinity, step 1 is to define your dreams and get a burning desire for its achievement. That's part of the 3-step goals. It's only 2 of the steps. I'm going to teach you the first step. And I also want to take it a step further, and I want to give you something that I think is the most important thing I've learned in the last 20 years of my life. Guys, I am no different than anybody. I've been through tragedies. I had a little brother commit suicide. I had things happen in my life that were hang-ups. I had things put in my mind that were bad programs. But I have found a way to, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional, professor. I'm a very, very normal person that spent 20 years asking the right questions. Who am I, and why am I here, and what am I supposed to do, and why do I feel like this all the time? Why can't I feel like this all the time? I did a lot of research. I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on personal development. I went to all the seminars. I bought all the CDs and all the tapes. And you know what? They're fantastic. But one of the best things I ever learned, I was sitting in a seminar in California, and I listened to an exercise about hang-ups. And it took about 5 to 10 minutes to actually share the exercise, but it's something I've tried to master over the last 15 years. And it was one of the biggest lessons I learned. A statement that I learned was, the easiest things in life, the things that will make the most impact, take 5 minutes to learn, but it takes a lifetime to master. And guys, I want to teach you on April 21st these things. And I think it will make the biggest impact on your life that you've ever had. It did mine. I look back at all the successes I've had, the decisions I've made, the things that happen in my daily life, and it all comes down to mind weaving. It all comes down to putting a string of good thoughts together all of the time. We all have things that happen to us in our life. Sometimes it's our environment, it's our workplace, sometimes it's even our home life. It's our spouse, our partner. There's things that happen in your life that stop you. If you're feeling good, you get good things and the things you want. If you're feeling bad, you get bad things and things you don't want. That's just how the law of attraction works. People talk about the law of attraction all the time, but they don't put any action behind it. But what do I do? I've gone to 19 seminars and I'm in the same situation. It's because you keep going back to your same environment and you don't change. You just don't change your mind. And here's why. It's these things right here. A lot of people can set goals, but there's no feeling behind it. And guys, that's what I want to do on April 21st. April 21st in Salina, Kansas. From 10 o'clock in the morning to approximately 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to put on a workshop. And it's specifically for people in Livinity and your families. If you have kids, I encourage them to come. Guys, this is free. I'm not charging anything to do this. I am more passionate. I love the products we have in Livinity. It changes people's lives. The testimonies that people call and talk about are amazing. The compensation plan that we have, when you're building this business, I would put this compensation plan up against any company in the industry. That's why we designed it that way. Guys, the residual income you can make, that's all fantastic. But my passion is when you lay your head down at night and when you lift your head off your pillow in the morning, what are you thinking? Are you really setting goals that have you excited 24/7? Wouldn't it be neat if you could have that feeling of the day before Christmas every single day of your life? And guys, I'm here to say that's possible. I've been through the mud and the muck. How many of you have that chatter going on in your head all the time? That negative chatter. That stuff that's just constantly talking to you all the time. Your eyes are seeing things, your brain is processing it, and all of a sudden it's going based on your past experiences, your past hang-ups, all the bad programs, and that's how your life is run. People say, well, it's difficult to change. People just don't like to change. Well, yeah, human beings, one of the hardest habit to overcome is being ourselves. But if you're not getting the things you want, and you're not happy all the time, and you're not attracting everything that you just want in your life, guys, there's a reason why. I found the reason why. You know, I've watched The Secret. I've listened to The Law of Attraction. I've listened to everything, and they're all fantastic. But none of them give you anything to do. There's no real meat. There's no curriculum. There's no do this so you can overcome these things once and for all. And that's what mind weaving is about. Guys, one of the special things I want to do on April 21st, this is going to be very limited. It's obviously very limited seating. I'm not charging anything for it. But what I want to do is I want to extend that invitation to other members in your family. And it's not a Levinity meeting. We're not going to talk anything about our business. This is a day to understand how your mind works. And what I'm going to do is we are going to limit this to a certain number of people, because I'm going to continue after April 21st a 21-day coaching program that I want to do with everybody that's at the event. And there's no charge. None of this will cost you anything. None of the coaching for the 21 days after, nothing coming to the event. I'm going to pay for your lunch. I'm even paying for your lunch when you come. I just want people to get this. That right now is my goal in life, is once I understood this, all I want people to do is understand it. When I listen to people talk, they usually are complaining. They're not in a situation they want to be. They're not in a place they want to be. Their lives are not where they want to be. And when they talk about it, they're hung up and they're just regurgitating the bad programs. And I want to teach you a way to set goals that actually puts so much feeling behind it, you start to see things in real life immediately that's pulling you towards the things you want. Guys, I think 100 years from now, people will look back and go, I can't believe how difficult people used to make it. No different than we look at people 100 years ago. I think these things will be taught in schools very soon, and it's one of my life's missions. One of my life's missions with my Mind Weaving project is to get this curriculum in schools. It's to teach this stuff to kids, teach this type of reasoning to kids, that you can set goals. It's okay to look forward to things that you want. You don't have to live under the thumb and under the hand of all of society and fit in with the norm. You can have the things you want and feel good every day. So guys, this is just a personal invitation from me to you. It's a personal invitation that on April 21st, I'd love to see you in Salina, Kansas. It's not going to be a webcast. It's not going to be a webinar. It's not going to be something that's live that you can view anywhere. This is a very personal, small group of people that I really want to connect with. And I want you to feel good 100% of the time. And I want to teach you. And I want to show you how to do that. I live it in my life every day. And sometimes it just irritates the heck out of me. When I talk to people in our business about setting goals and having the things they want, and they can't get there, I know why. And sometimes when I turn my back and walk away, I almost feel like a hypocrite, because I will not share these things that I know. And that is part of my passion. I love my business. I love our company. But I want people to be successful. And I know we have all those pieces in place. The piece that's missing is in your own mind. You might be excited 3% of the time, but what's going on the other 97% of the time? Guys, I want to share some things on the 21st that I really think they'll blow your mind. And it's going to make a dramatic impact in your life. You're going to have a shift mentally, because it's not just going to be a one-day deal. I'm going to follow up with you, all of you, for 21 days following this. I have a specific program, and when you follow it, you change as a person. You will get the things you want. So with that said, guys, I know this isn't for everybody, but instead of just sending an email and promoting it and talking about what I want to do, I just really wanted to look into the camera and tell you guys, if you're interested in this, you can call Levinity, and I certainly encourage you to email me personally, david@levinity.com, and say, I want to come. And guys, if you say you're going to come with how many people you're bringing, please make sure that's what happens, because I'm going to limit this to a small number of people. And I don't want everybody just to come because it's free, and then at the last minute, only half the people come. So if you're going to make the commitment to come and email me and tell me you're coming, then make sure and come, or don't email me. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a small group because I want to prove to you that you don't have to spend 10 and 15 and 20 years going through all this personal development to get to where I am at today. You can learn this stuff in 5 minutes. And if you can change your mind, if you can retrain your brain just a little bit to look at these things as all good things instead of hang-ups and bad programs, amazing things will happen in your life, and they'll practically happen overnight. So guys, with that said, I hope you make it a great week. But if you're interested, April 21st, it's a Saturday. It'll begin at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll give you the location once you make the commitment to come. Like I said, it's going to be a small group. We're going to have a lot of fun that day. It's no charge. I'm paying for lunch. I just want you there because I feel so moved to share this stuff with people because it works. And it really is how you get the things you want in life. So with that said, I really hope to see you guys at the Mindweaving event. Email me, david@lavinity.com. You can also call the Lavinity office and please talk to Cindy, and you can let her know that I want to go to Dave's Mindweaving event. Talk to you soon.